Hi everyone, it's Lavender Sky Panther. It's Wednesday, June 28th, with you for another card reading. This time I did ask a specific question that, what does the collective need to know about the fires going on in Canada and North America and the effects of them and what's going on? What do we need to know? So as you can see, this is way many more cards than I normally pull, and so there was a lot going on about this topic. It was a hot topic, if you will, pun absolutely intended. So what we're going to do, I'm going to move in and start in on the order that the cards started coming out. I just kept, focusing on the cards at hand, asking clarifications on them all along the way. What do we need to know about this? So I'm going to present it to you the way it started unfolding. So bear with me. It is pretty complex. A lot of messages, though, kept coming up, so I can't possibly impart them all. Read in and feel into this reading, too, and see what other meanings you get that I don't touch on, because I'm just going to hit the very main highlights. So obviously there's so many more messages embedded in each card, informing this overall story. So let's just see where it all goes. I got some preliminary messages, and now we'll see the most important ones. We'll ask that, Great Spirit, God, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, moves through me and all of you as we come together to hear what's going on. So I'm going to start in then on the core 5 cards. From the Akashic deck, I'll put the names of the decks in the description box below. Bear with me, it might take a bit for me to get that information there after it uploads, okay? So anyway, let's start in, and remarkably, I'm going to start in on this pairing. We got the scribe again, because I just had that. It's number 12 or number 3, and then we have the lookout, a number 17 or an 8. So interestingly enough, again, keep in mind the core question was, what do we need to know as a collective about these fires going on? Okay, so right away I get something about, we've got a story here, just like the previous reading where the scribe card popped up was, what's your story? So similarly, this is, what is the story with this? Okay, we have a message, we've got the lookout. And I think, it looks like we've got half the ship's on fire, right? But strangely, only half. And the person's looking the other way away from the fire. So to me already, we're kind of unfolding, like the scribe to me represents like it could be the mainstream media, and that we really need to be on the lookout. What's really happening? Is the ship on fire? You look one way, it's not. You look the other way, it is. So which way are we going to look at this? What are we going to believe? So that required some clarification, which will be coming up in a minute. But I'm going to read this from left to right first, and then we're going to go up to down. So left to right, it is, a story's being written here, but is it true? We got to be on the lookout for what's the truth in the situation here, as I just mentioned. And if we can do that and feel into the inside, into our own inner world of what's going on, and just close our eyes and kind of ask for ourselves, what is really going on here? You'll start to get your own answers and impressions. This is just my asking on behalf of the collective. You're going to get even more insights if you do that for yourself, and if you're on the lookout and on the feel out of what's going on. Feel it out. All right, so we're going to move along. If we are careful and we're on the lookout and we search within for what really the truth is, we will find that the real picture that we can get to is the garden is coming back to a beautiful balance, like the Eden state, where we're not dealing with all of this. That's not the picture I don't think any of us wants to really see. So looking on the next pairing, we can get to balance on this garden and get back to a beautiful, perfect state of our world. And we have fated meeting, which with the clock there shows it's time for us to come together. See, they're having a picture of coming together. So here we're at play. We're envisioning the beautiful garden as it should be. It should be an Eden state on this earth. I don't like to normally say should be, but I think we can all agree we would love to have this harmonious, beautiful state and not this one in tragedy, right? And so anyway, one way for this to happen, the remedy is for us to come together. It's time for us each to awaken in our own way, to get back to that state of innocence, to bring back a beautiful world, one where we're not jaded by media and other things going on that are falsely, leading everybody to create a terrible reality, with flames and all of the smoke. So we can hold the vision of a more beautiful world if we come together, especially 2 or more. We come together and hold that vision of that beautiful garden restored. Then also, we have this, the two worlds. This card was also in the previous reading. So here, this woman is literally looking at the fire, but she could easily turn and look at the beautiful. It's not really quite a garden, but for now, I'm just going to imagine that it is. She could look out to a more beautiful world to the outside. So right now, she's looking at the fire. But it's a call to, this is the inside job. We can come together and unify and hold a vision with more than one of us, but it's also the inside job to us actively choose to hold the vision of this more beautiful world. Okay, so that's just the initial, impression here. So we're watching out for what the media is doing. We still have the choice to look at, is the media telling the truth and it's all hell breaking loose? But we know we don't believe that because our back is to that picture. That's not the truth of our reality. We want to see a better world. So we're going to write that story by coming back and envisioning the world at a perfect, beautiful state. This is just a recap, sorry, by the way. And we're going to come together. When we come to that innocence and that state of being at play and lighthearted, we can get and realize that vision here on earth. And it's even better when we come together. It is time for us to unify, not to be divided. And we know it's still an inside job, so it's up to us at any given point in time to look to the gloom and doom or to look to the peace and the beautiful possible world. Okay, so that's just reading left to right. And before I get to reading down to clarify, let's see. Yeah, before I go down, because we were also going to go down to clarify each of these things, I did pull the animal spirit cards. In this case, I'm using the kind of the Garden of Eden example here of restoring the world to a perfect, beautiful state, a harmonious and loving state without the gloom and doom and the flames. So what I did was pull some animal spirit cards to kind of clarify the left half of this picture before we get to the balanced state, and some to clarify the right half of the picture, which is coming together, but also an inside job, okay, to realize this beautiful vision on our earth again. So anyway, a few cards jumped out, from the animal spirit. So to clarify that we're on the lookout for what the media might be doing and on the lookout for what's really going on, we get the eagle, okay? And actually, this eagle came out on top of another eagle, which says, Spirit has your back. So I'm not going to belabor this. This looks like a victory. This looks like we can absolutely seize the victory is ours in our own talons and our hands, because that's representing the sun, which is the happiness, which is the good vision of bringing light to the world. And we're flying above it all, seeing things with keen vision. So we're seeing through the deception and we're grabbing it, in one sense, right? We can just grab it. We got power to do it. So I'm going to put this eagle over here with the other eagle, okay, with the other eagle spirit. Next up, we have the raccoon, and see how there's a mask on this figure? It's all murky and dark, looks very elusive, very kind of, they're known as little thieves. It looks very deceptive. So what I see when we come down to the stingray, and actually I'm going to put the eagle back up. The stingray has all the beautiful colors. That shows me that we're on to everything. We're tapping into all of the chakras. We're in alignment. And we're getting to the inside of who we are and rising up in our power to be able to see, distinguish the truth. We don't even need eyes to see it. We just know it within us. So when we look at all of these three, again, relative to being on the lookout for deception and whatever the story might be here, when we look at this little trio, to me it shows we have victory over the darkness of what they're trying to do, the elusive deceptiveness, trying to steal our innocence or trying to steal our beautiful planet. When I say they, there's any form. We'll just say they is the dark side or the evil forces. They come in many faces and they can change and shift. So we'll just call it what it is for now. It's the victory of the light, the loving light over the darkness. And then we are again connected when we come back into our center and we rise up and we eliminate that darkness and get back to the light. Okay, so I know that's reading into it quite a bit, but that's what I'm feeling, and that's what I got right away. So we're eliminating that elusive energy. They're not going to rob us of our power, our individual power, nor of our, beautiful Eden state, garden, state of this world that we wish to see. If you found my channel, I'm sure you do. Okay. So now that was like looking from the, balanced state of the beautiful picture, a harmonious garden, to the left. That's kind of what's going on, victory over the darkness. and coming back into our individual balance state to see this vision through in the middle. Now on the right-hand side then, we're talking about the two people coming together, and then we also had the one person though, because it's very much about our individual choices. Are we going to see the gloom and doom of the fire? We're going to see the beautiful garden. So to reinforce that, we have another bunch of cards here from the animal spirit deck of what energies are behind that picture. And we have lion, of course, representing courage and strength. Also kind of just a calm and a knowing that things will be okay without any other assistance, really. Then we have the hummingbird, which could sum up the the winged messenger between the God, between God and spirit and us here, on earth. And it's very versatility and longevity. It's endurance, and its strength in itself. That it can hover and for such a long time. Then we have, and the versatility of its wings. And then we have the lizard and the crocodile. And to me, that just shows we've got an extreme adaptability. Lizards can be in rainforests. They can be in dry deserts and still do just fine. They can, scurry across the top of the sands when they're too hot. We have all types of lizards that are very, very adaptable. And that just shows qualities that we need to be, have the strength, the longevity, and the endurance, the versatility, and be able to be adaptable in the situation to help bring about, again, our perfect balance and our beautiful state here on the earth. Tossing the gloom and doom over here, to the curb, getting it out of our collective consciousness, just getting out of our thoughts so we don't even manifest that. And so we've got versatility. We'll need, to be adaptable. And the crocodile represents the same, kind of longevity. It withstands the tests of time in quotes. Also, it's very adaptable. And a side story of the crocodile, which I think applies as well, is that the crocodile nests, also this applies to alligators too. Well, first of all, the crocodile can be in fresh water, it can be in salt water, so can alligators. It kind of can be in the brackish water. But the amazing thing is, whether it's a crocodile or an alligator nest, that turtles come and lay their eggs in that nest. And you could say, well, why would they do that? And they do it because they know their eggs are going to be protected, because who's going to come and mess with an alligator? So then the alligator moves on, and when it's time for the turtle's eggs to break open, they're already breaking open at a time after the croc has had its eggs, so they're kind of still safe, and then they just kind of scurry off. So it's pretty ingenious. You put your eggs, build it into the walls of the nest, of the very thing that could eat you, but you break out and release at the right timing, so to be safe from that thing. And then there we go again with the timing, right? So the time is now that we awaken. The time is now that we wake up and break up out of the nest and hatch and go on our mission of looking deep within and choosing which way we're going to look at the world. Okay, so I'm going to put these down over by the otter spirit, which was pulled, and that says you are never alone. So even though we come into this world like the turtles in the nest, we're individual, but yet we always have the option to come together as the family unit. So, and we're never alone, because we've got spirit, God, overarching, and we are the God source within, the God spark connected to that. We cannot be separated from it. And we are given the strength at any given moment to overcome anything in this world. Okay, now let's go read from, I said I had these core 5 cards. Now we're going to read vertically down for other cards to clarify and support each card. So in the scribe, I'm asking, okay, can you clarify this? Is it about on the lookout for what the truth is with media? What story is being written? Can we believe it? Or do we need to write our own story to bring about and envision this more perfect world and not the fires, and clear them up immediately? So we got 9 of winter, and we have this little fairy looking up at the moon. And it says unfounded fear, focusing on worst case scenarios, allowing worry to grow out of proportion to the problem. So just like a wildfire spreads, we don't want to, start only focusing on fear and worry, because then, we're going to start manifesting it, and it's going to grow and spread and pretty much catch everything on fire. So look where she's looking. She's looking up to this. So we don't want worry to set in, and especially if it's unfounded, which it is. We're only going to see that if we wish to see that. Well, she can just look over here. She's looking more toward the garden. Let's look at that picture, not at this one. So turn off the media, turn off the TV. We don't need to see all of this. And we can focus within, and at nighttime, like bedtime prayers, pray and wish all the best for all of life, for everybody affected in the territories of the fires right now. And clearly envision clear skies and everybody happy and playing in the fields, all across the world. So that's what we can do. And don't give any energy or power. Don't write a story that's like this, an inferno. That doesn't serve anyone. All right, so now we go down here for further clarification of this card of unfounded fear. And we don't want to focus on worst case scenarios. Let's focus on the beautiful best case scenarios. And then in this time, we also have intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. And we have this person and the horse. It looks pretty victorious. Events that occur with great speed. Take time to carefully review your options. Creative solutions. So to me, this is saying, yeah, let's get out of any unfounded fear and let's focus on the solutions, not on the problems, right? There are any number of solutions to this. And the first one right off is our own power and connecting. He's got that sword, raising it up to the heavens and connecting into the God source and meditating or just reflecting innerly. And there's walking meditations through nature you can do too to connect in with the God source and us saying, hey, what can we do? What can I do as me to help change this picture? We don't want the fires. We don't want the harm of all of, harming humans and harming nature and harming animals and harming the, the air quality and the elements. Let's, see a more beautiful picture restored. And even the unicorn here can connect in the same way. All the animals can be doing this too instinctively. And let's all come together in our beautiful wishes to see, again, a beautiful world, clear air, nice atmosphere. And that's something we can all do. All right, so that just reinforces we have the power through prayer, meditation, and other means to see our beautiful world restored to the best it's ever been. All right, now I asked for clarification on the lookout, so we're going to come down vertically. Sorry, I'm moving around a little too much. So once again, that's our scene. Okay, and it's interesting that aside from the warm tones, everything's kind of smoky, but our lookout person has a pop of purple. I'd say that's more purple, indigo. And they're looking up, with binoculars or something. So to me, purple is, the heading toward the crown chakra, the insights, the more divine insights. So this person is, looking upward and outward for positive solutions connected in with the divine. All right, so I asked for a little clarification on the lookout, and we got romantic, captivating, dramatic, flirtatious, Prince of Summer, okay? And this one's riding on a dandelion. And as you know, as little children, we blow these dandelion, what do you call them? The little parts of the dandelion, we blow them and make wishes, right? Even in German, it's called a Pusteblume, meaning a blow flower. You blow the little florets off, right? And so this is falling in love suddenly. Sorry about the glare here with the lights. Being swept off your feet, the need to stay grounded during a very emotional experience. Well, I would take the romantic part out of this and say, yeah, we have a very emotional experience. This is really affecting people adversely. And so we just need to stay grounded is the message, okay? And if we stay grounded during this emotional experience, we can stay focused again and look out for what is the truth and what is not, and feel out what is the truth and what is not. Then clarification a little bit more from this deck, and we actually have Page of Fire, ironically, with the fire, and outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous. And we've had this card in a previous reading, and where I've talked about that the dragon doesn't even need to breathe fire, it just is very present, and that's strength enough. It doesn't need to do anything to announce itself or protect itself. It just knows it is protected. But anyway, we have further here, further description. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. So once again, this new endeavor that is exciting could be our ability to learn and reconnect with our innate powers that we probably have forgotten about, because when we arrive on this planet, there's a memory wipe and we don't remember who we really are and what we're really capable of. We have been told in the past through antiquity, who said this, that, we do have the power within, and we have that God power source within, and we've just kind of forgotten to use it, right? So anyway, this is a time to be retapping into those abilities. It's an exciting time. So if we can go within and envision the better world, we're going to start to come online, so to speak. More of our powers will be activated and remembered, our innate powers, so that we can see, once again, see this better world. Okay, now getting back to this better world, the 5 of Roses with the garden. We've got these two children, and what's funny is when we say it's time to wake up and connect and bring our powers together, it's just funny how we've got the younger versions of what might be, these two over here. So we will grow in wisdom when we awaken, right? And it doesn't mean that you have to be older to have that wisdom. What do they say? The children enter the gates of heaven, with innocence. It's just you have the childlike wonder to get to the kingdom, right? And to the heaven, and there they are. So over here, it's time to retap into our childlike wonder and just know that anything is possible, even if putting all of our minds and hearts to it, to end these fires and restore our world. Okay. Now, to clarify the garden, we have the Hermit number 9, and we have this fairy holding the light and a staff, holding something else here, and that symbol is very loaded. It has attributes of masculine and feminine. There's so much to this, so I'm going to leave that one alone for now. But what I like is she's standing there, almost like the scales of justice to me, the way she's standing and holding these objects. And that's going to tie into the card below. But for now, it says, find or be a mentor. Take a break from society, a commitment to your spiritual growth. So from this, I'm going to take a break from society, turn the TV off, which is only negative and contrived and, set to just manipulate the mind, brainwash, and program it into the negative. So we take a break from that. That already will help us just see things beautiful, go out in nature, enjoy things, connect with people, get off the electronic devices, and already the world is a better picture. And then to clarify that one, we have 6 of Earth, so we can get back into Earth, maybe do some earthing to level out and balance so we can see this beautiful picture. And that is guaranteed. Again, if you turn off all of the outside negative stuff, that will appear. That kind of a vision will appear. And again, this is like the balancing of getting to justice is to balance. And that's what, and again, it looks like she's doing. So if we can get balanced within ourselves, don't worry about money and jewels and other things. Look, these are just balancing themselves out. It's kind of irrelevant when the real treasure is the nature, is fresh air, the grass, and all of like even plant medicines and remedies. We don't need coins or money for that. So if we can get down to the balance of what really matters, then we do balance out and find the justice, which is bringing our world back to a beautiful state and not letting others, do this to destroy it, right? Okay, now clarification on the fated meeting. We have Princess of Autumn, studious, responsible, cheerful, mischievous. And here she is, kind of in the library. Things are floating. She's kind of using her own inner talents with like a magician or sorceress. It says, happy news. Sorry about the glare again. Happy news about your career promotions or scholarships. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. So in this case, I would just say it's the studious part, being responsible to be studious and really, look into things, research, whatever we're hearing back over here again. I'm using the scribe, this scene representing like the media, whatever we're being told or whatever's being projected. We've got to really be on the lookout and listen out, like listen to our own heart. Is that true, what's being said or not through those mouthpieces? Let's get back into, the archives here, do our own research, find our own magic and tap into that and, see what really is the picture. We'll be responsible and really check out, the stories that we're being told for the truth or not. And what happens when we do that is we head right into the sun, which is like they say the happiest card of the deck. So we reach a beautiful outcome. We're standing up here, elevated above everything. We have a clear view of what's going on, and we can bring in the magic into the fold, with our beautiful wings and our luminosity, our illumination, our being illuminated and as far as understanding what's going on. No more hidden secrets. We're able to dig in for the truth, and we can stand tall and in happiness, knowing that we can achieve a balanced and more beautiful world again, right? So anyway, then we go down. It says happy outcome, brilliant new ideas that lead to success. Have confidence in yourself. And that's absolutely right. Have confidence in your own strength, your own powers. And as I've said on previous shows, we're going to be, if not already, you're going to notice that slowly over time, different powers and things will be activated within you suddenly out of nowhere. So you might have better eyesight out of nowhere. You wake up one day to the next. You might have increased hearing. Any number of things you're going to notice might start to come to you and just instantly be activated again toward our victory in this whole picture to live in a better, more beautiful world. Okay, so now we're going to go over give me a moment. Okay, so now we're going to go over clarification on this one, the two worlds. Okay, so we have 10 of autumn. And we have an interesting scene here, like a little family, little fairy children floating around. Looks like a beautiful day. And it says, sorry about this, let me move this over. Okay, it says, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. Well, in this case, I'm going to say, forget the financial stuff. The investment is the children. The investment is our protection of nature and Mother Earth and all the bounty that she offers, which is not monetary. You can't even put a price on any of it. And it's also investing in ourselves. We always say, oh, do it for your children. Make sure we have a nice planet for the children. Well, you know what? No. First off, make sure we have a nice planet for us right now. And then, yes, of course, the children in the future. And to make sure that we do have these things intact, like beautiful trees to preserve family traditions, sitting under a tree or picnicking in a favorite park, we need to preserve these things. So what kind of world, again, are we going to look at? Are we going to look at a gloom and doom world, or do we want to envision and hold the reality of a beautiful earth that our children do inherit and that we enjoy right now? Then we have 6 of fire, another fire card. Okay, he's talking about victory. He's got a smile on his face and then flag of victory, like capturing the flag is there. Got a whole other kind of scene going on. I'm not going to talk about it, but it says victory. Good news is on its way. Public recognition or awards. So once again, we just got to focus and hold, the eye on the prize, is a victorious, is a beautiful, harmonious, holding the vision for a beautiful earth. All right, now off to the side here, we have number 44 and number 8. Look at this gorgeous panther. Of course, I'm partial to that. Beautiful panther card. Panther spirit, reclaim your power. So going forward, just reinforcing everything I've already said, to hold this good vision on the right-hand side, holding the vision of the beautiful garden here on the earth, and forget the fires. We reclaim our own power. We go within. We have justice that will bring, the right vision to come to pass. Take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. Fair and objective decisions. So we hold on to that vision and justice will come to pass, which is harmony for the earth. And then we already talked about this over here with the otter and the other cards. So now I'm going to go over to, bear with me, I'm trying to not go too fast, over here on the other side to kind of clarify the energies of the scribe or the media and what's going on. We have number 31, which is a 4, and we have the groundhog spirit, which says time to let go, and we just had a groundhog in the previous reading. So the groundhog is sitting there and with a little heart, it's beautiful, saying it's time to let go. Well, what are we letting go of? We're letting go of the old world of just listening to being told by the media, who we did trust. I would say the collective trusted them. And now we're on to a new picture. And it is a little bit of a heartbreaking because it symbolizes the end of our innocence, that we did trust that there were other people in powers in place that had our best interest in heart, but we realized, nope, that's not the picture, and we got to turn our back to it. See, we're going to turn our back to that whole way of just listening to the media. We're on to it. We know who they are. They are, I'm just going to say, I'm going to move these cards in a different way. They are elusive. They are ever-changing, right? Not predictable and not really trustworthy. So, we're going to get rid of that energy and move on. And so clarifying the groundhog spirit, time to let go. We have the princess of winter, inquisitive, truthful, realistic, undiplomatic. Okay. And we've got like a snowy leopard and this fairy, this winter fairy. Information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Speaking the truth with kindness, an indigo child or adult. Okay, that indigo spirit of the indigo within us is looking in the insights and just knowing the truth and coming here to change the world, because we know the world was full of falsehoods that never made sense as we were children. So it is hard to hear some of this information now that we know is not the truth, as I just mentioned before. A little bit of a heartbreak of losing of the innocence in that way. But if you're an indigo child or adult, you came knowing that you came to break this mold, and we're here and we're ready. Okay, so that's why we're kind of undiplomatic. We don't care. We came for the truth, and we're not going to, play around. And, we're just going to get to it. We're not just going to, come here on appearances. We're here for the core of the truth, and we're bringing it. That's what got this fierce leopard to help us pave the way in front of us to get to the truth. No more little niceties and pleasantries. Let's just get to it, right? All right, so now that's about it, I think. So there is a lot more to say. I hope this made some kind of sense. Again, I don't know why so much came out about it, but yet I guess it needed to. And you know what? As I like to do, just for fun, just for fun, I'll just do one more bonus card. I know this was already more than enough, but let's just do it. I just feel like it. So I can never do this while I'm holding the camera, so it's not the neatest. So let's just see. Let's go for this one. Why not, right? Let's get one more and just see what we get. Okay, 2 of keys. And here he is, the treasure. Okay, actually give me a minute to look at this without the viewfinder. Hold on, I'm going to hold this while I look outside of the viewfinder. Ooh, okay, this card's pretty intense. I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so here we go. I am getting that this person is in a real quandary, okay? He's got the light is above him. I would say this is almost like the awakening moment, the moment where your entire world you thought you knew is not what you thought you knew. This is the awakening moment. And he is like really conflicted and confused, okay? And it's like, I can't tell what that is. Hang on one second. Can't quite see it. Hang on. Well, it's maybe not what it is, but to me, it's like he dropped a scroll on the floor. He got news, and he's like, no, I can't believe my whole world is shattered. Everything that I knew and was, the innocence of my world, what I thought I believed was true. Turns out what? Everything is no longer true. And that's the first step, that breaking point, that like getting on the ground and crying. They don't show him that, but clearly he like threw everything around. It's like, no, what is going on? My world is broken apart. Everything I knew is no longer that. And, again, to me, it's like this moment. It's kind of like a heartbreaking moment. The little markings on this groundhog almost look like tears. Like, no, my innocence is gone. Everything I knew, now I got to go from scratch and kind of make sense out of this world, but there is hope, because there's also, that illumination above him. He'll get there. He's going to start to see the truth. He's going to go and look for it. The truth is, peering in at the window, the illumination of the moon. The moon is representing hidden secrets and whatnot, but it's not all dark. It's not like a new moon completely dark. There's that sliver of light. So once he can kind of reconcile within what's going on and accept it, that nope, the world isn't what you thought, but hey, now you're on your journey to figure it out and find the truth. And here you go. Here's your first little clue. Look out the window up in the skies. If you're familiar with my any of my sky shows, you'll know why I say that. The first step after my awakening moment, I've been through this. I feel what this guy is feeling, actually. When you have your awakening moment, you kind of hit the floor crying, like try and make sense out of your world. It's kind of like a dark night of the soul kind of a moment, but you do come out of it. This guiding light is always with you and above you. You just have to get out of this funk and then finally see it and go on your search for the truth. And mine started to open up while I was told to look up. And then I started seeing a whole nother world that started me on my journey. So anyway, that's the treasure. So it is the gift. It's the, what do you call it? The blessing in disguise. This feels like hell, but it really is a gift and a treasure, because it's the journey where you start to know yourself and the truth about the bigger world. And it's just, it hurts at the beginning, but it's pretty darn amazing. All right. And once you get to that, we can also, once again, start to see the light, and then get back to this beautiful innocence and looking at the world with childlike wonder. And that's the thing that will allow us to come together and create a new, beautiful world that is no longer listening to any of this stuff, the awful media. And just, we are not creating this picture anymore for the dark side. We are going to, just create something that is beautiful and harmonious. So anyway, that all started from my question about the fires going on. Hope you enjoyed something out of here. And that's it for now. Tremendous peace and love to everyone. Lavender Sky Panther. Bye.